Hello, I hope that you're doing well. I have a bit of a cold today, so I'm going to sound a little deep voiced. I apologise for that. Today, I'm going to talk about my Funko Pop collection, my experience collecting Funkos and collecting things in general. And to preface this, it's not going to just be a video where I'm like, hey, look at this pop, look at this one, this is the Joker. I could do that, but I feel that'd be a bit lazy. I want to talk about my Funko Pop collection, why I'm collecting certain pops, why certain ones are here, my experience collecting them over the years, and my general opinion on just like collecting things as a whole. I feel this is the first time I'll have made a vlog in a long time where I just like am more opinionated and talking more in depth about my feelings about things. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about my Funko Pop collection. I have been collecting Funko Pops for several years now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how many years off the top of my head. Several years worth of me collecting Funko Pops. I remember the first time I got a Funko Pop was when I went to New York with my parents years and years ago, and we went to a comic book shop in Brooklyn and I saw a Captain America pop and I thought that looks like a cool little figure, bought it, took it out of the box and just put it on my shelf, never thought of Funkos again. Roll on like a year and a half, 2 years later, and I see the DC Pops and I absolutely love DC Comics, would you have guessed? So I then found myself picking up a few DC Pops and realised the Pops were numbered, and this was probably my biggest failing because I see the numbers on them and I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool if it displayed all of these Pops, like numbers 1 through to 10 on a shelf. No. The immediate issue at this point was that some Funko Pops had already stopped being produced. They'd become rarer and thus more expensive. So it wasn't easy for me to go out there and obtain like the Riddler or the Penguin, which I now have down there. Numbers 4 and number 5 in the middle of this 1 to 10 collection. And as I mentioned, I started focusing mainly on the DC Pops. Even though there were Disney Pops out there, there were Marvel Pops, there were other Pops out there of franchises I loved, like various animes, I stuck with the DC Pops. My main thought was, I'm just gonna go through, collect all of these, numbers 1 to whatever. And that number kept increasing. Like in my head it's like, oh yeah, 1 to 50, that'd be fun to display. Then it was 1 to 100 because they kept releasing films and things that I liked, and I was like, this is getting big, to the point where eventually like this collection became, like, not to use like a very excessive word, but like I feel my Funko Pop collection kind of became a bit of an addiction. It started to make me feel very anxious about the stuff because of, at the time of my collecting, I was living in Acton with Liam, so I was displaying them stacked up along one wall. Smaller collection at that time. I then moved out of Acton, moved in with Jamie, we moved into Staines, and in Staines we rented a flat and again displayed them in my office, but they're stacking up all over the place because I had no set place. And in my mind I'm like, when I eventually own a place, I'll set up a really cool office, I've got a shelving plan, this is my plan, was have them all shelved like this all along. And I'm like, I'll display them and it'll be really cool. Yet there was still this bit of anxiety inside me, like, which ones do I display? There are so many here, there's no way I can display 100 Pops all like this. No problem at all with other Funko fans. I am a hardcore love Funko Pops, but I'm also one of those people that ultimately gets anxious at big piles of things and like making things look smart and displaying them in the perfect way, and I found that they were building up in a pile in a way that I can display them in the perfect way. And I guess that's sort of like a short abbreviated reason of why I never found myself uploading a video of my Funko Pop collection, because despite having been here for 2 years now, like, I've still not found a way that I'm really happy with how they're displayed. I'm constantly pulling down Pops, replacing them, swapping out sets, removing them. It took me a long time to first take a Funko Pop out of the box. I went years just displaying them all stacked up in a box, and like, I think I almost gave Jamie a heart attack the first time I ever took a Pop out of a box. How did you feel when I first took a Funko Pop figure out of the box?
Betrayed, because like I had taken Pop Funkos out of a box before and you looked at me like I was evil, and then when you did it, it was fine and you justified it. But I think overall, like, it was good because it let me know that you're sane.
So Funko Pop figures are a pop vinyl series created by Funko, and they originally were released around various franchises, Disney, DC, Marvel being 3 examples, and they came out in series. Now DC were released as Pop Heroes range, and these came in series. You had series 1, which included Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Penguin, Riddler, and the Joker. So it was originally like a pure Batman set initially, and then series 2 included Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and the Flash. This was where I first got into Pops, when I realised that they were numbered and they had a series. Looking at the back of the Superman Pop I bought, I'm like, oh look, all the DC characters I love. Initially, when Pops were released like years ago, you would have to wait ages for a new line to come out. You'd have to wait a good few months until any new Pops were announced or released. They come around like Comic-Cons, or a new series would be released within the year, and you'd keep an eye out for those things. So collecting DC for me was a bit easier back then because I found they were trickling through. But as the Funko Pop figures got more popular, you found that the releases started to speed up, more franchises started to to be released. More pop figures got released at a faster rate, and thus this stack started to build and build and build and build. So I figured next I'd just like take my handheld camera, this one here. Look, there's the camera, this camera, there's the Disney castle, there's my Toy Story like thing, and Zelda shield, and walk around my room and show you guys my Funko Pop collection. So let's go have a look. So initially in this video I mentioned having Pops number 1 to 10 all displayed out and about, looking all cool and sort of like 1 to 10 on a shelf, and that was my original vision. But as I started collecting more and more and like gathering them, I found that I preferred putting them in sets based on which heroes they were, which franchises, and also some of the 1 to 10 just didn't fit on my shelves that well, so I didn't display them in the end. But here are my Funko Pops. I'm going to start with probably my favourite shelf here. As lame as it sounds, I tie like sentimental memories to a lot of these Pops and like can remember certain things looking at them. This shelf is very special to me because Jamie and her dad were adorable, and basically, first of all, this one. This is the Riddler. So this is a Pop that I never thought I would have because it was really rare, cost more money, and it was the 110. I'd sort of like resolved to not have it. Jamie made this for me. She made me a custom Riddler Pop, and honestly, it looks amazing, and it's way cooler than the actual real thing to me because it's so much more special. Jamie and her dad surprised me and actually got me literally the Riddler Pop and Penguin Pop that I have locked away in a really hard plastic container to keep them safe, and there's like a little bear that Jamie has one that says Tom on it. These are some newer Pops. These are the DC Bombshell Pops, themed around the DC Bombshell series, and there's also my Lego Batarang that you might remember from my Lego DC, and there's also my Lego Batarang that you might remember from my Lego Batman building video. Thank you so much again, Lego and Warner Brothers, for sending me that package with that little Lego Batarang. I love it so much. I also went away with Warner Brothers last week and actually saw DC Comics itself. That was amazing. There's going to be a video next week, so keep an eye out for that one, and please do check it out next Wednesday. That will be such a good video, and I'd love it if you guys can make sure you're watching that video. Back to these. I just really like these figures, so I got these and displayed them, and it's this whole thing of like, I used to purely display Pops all in their boxes, and now I'm way more comfortable displaying like them out like that. Like, she doesn't even have a box. Her box has gone somewhere else because she looked just better like in the middle of it all. I feel like I'm just showing random Pops, but these Pops are very special to me and I have them on top of my shelves. We were given these at Summer in the City. They're custom Pops of me and Jamie Joe. There's Jamie's old little banana mouse t-shirt, and there's me wearing like a Superman t-shirt with a T on it. They are honestly so precious. I love them to bits, and I'm so grateful. Like, anytime you guys come say hi to us and meet and greets, to go on a complete tangent, it means the world. And that was just so special and so nice. One thing that's funny is I used to religiously keep all of my Pops in boxes unless it was like a non-DC Pop Heroes franchise, which is really weird. Like, I had this like thing in my head about keeping all my Pop Heroes nice and pristine in their boxes, but if I bought a Marvel Pop, it was fine out of the box. If I bought the Sword Art Online Pops, because I love Sword Art Online, they were fine out of the box. And then recently I bought some My Hero Academia Pops because, my lord, My Hero Academia is such a good anime. If you've seen My Hero Academia, like, to go off on another tangent, let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to know how many of you like it, and I would absolutely love to geek out about it on this channel. I love My Hero Academia so much. The first proper time I ever decided to like stray away from collecting Pop Heroes was when they announced the Pop Doctor Who and Pop Harry Potter lines, because I absolutely love Harry Potter and I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. Pop Harry Potter itself came as its own series. Pop Doctor Who became part of the Pop television series and was spread throughout. I only collected the first few of each series because of, I didn't want to get in too deep and find myself buying like every single Harry Potter Pop. But the ones I do have, I'm pretty happy with, and the Doctor Who ones I do have. So this TARDIS here, that's actually a Pop vinyl. It's a really cool Pop vinyl because it's just like, I think it's a really cool TARDIS model. David Tennant, my second favourite Doctor. Matt Smith, my favourite Doctor. Peter Capaldi, and then you got some villains down there, and you got some other Doctors. I'm going to be honest here and not be like, oh, I love Doctor Who, I'm going to buy the Jodie Whittaker Pop when it comes out, because I'd love to, but I'm kind of already planning on like getting rid of the shelf and adding something new there that isn't Doctor Who, because as much as I love Doctor Who, I just don't love the Pops that much. The other thing I've come to enjoy about my Funko Pop collection over the years is that I can use my Pops to sort of decorate certain shelves around things that I love to make them more themed and more like visual. Like the Harry Potter shelf also has my Harry Potter books and my Harry Potter ones. My Sword Art Online one has all my Sword Art Online light novels, the Blu-rays. A fair few of the Funko Pops that I have, I've bought because I've looked at them and I thought they would look really cool displayed on a shelf, or they look really cool displayed here in a fun way because they look really thematic and they work really well together. A good example of this is the Rainbow Batman set. Like, I love that. I think it's really cool visually, but the reality is each one of those boxes has the exact same Batman number on it. Like, you can see it, like each of these boxes is Batman #1, the exact same Batman. Like here, this one. And I find this one interesting thing about Funko Pops that you either love or you hate, but like, there are a lot of variants. You can get a number released for a Funko Pop, and then next thing you know, there are like 5, 6, 10 plus variants of that pop existing out there where there are different colours of it. It glows in the dark. It's got like a complete makeover in this sense. Generally, it happens with the more popular things like Batman, but you do find variants exist in like Comic Cons. You'll go to Comic Cons and you'll have a pop that's released that's slightly coloured and encourages people to get that as well as it, and you're kind of torn like, do I get that as this as well as this one? And I want to be honest here, I am not bashing people who collect Funko Pops. I'm not slamming Funko Pop figures. You can see in my office I have them all on my shelves around me. I wouldn't have them up if I didn't like them. But I also wanted to reflect honestly in this video about my Funko Pop collection and how I've collected them over the years and different trends I've followed. For example, I first set out to collect the Funko Pops from 1 to 10, as I've said numerous times. That increased, but I also found that as Funko released various variants, and the variants like the rainbow coloured Batman can come in the same number, and it could be as simple as just a slightly colour change on a single Funko Pop. And whilst those variants are great for many people, because you might find a style of pop for a character you absolutely love, or you might be like a huge Harley Quinn or Batman fan and want to collect all the Harley Quinn pops specifically, but when you're like aiming to collect the Pop Heroes pops numbered through, I found it was problematic because I was stacking up various variants and just buying them for the sake of them being a variant or potentially being like rarer or more valuable eventually, rather than because I liked that pop or wanted that pop. A good example here is the Batman vs Superman Aquaman pop. I actually like Batman vs Superman and Justice League, that's why they're on my shelves. Fight me. Hot Topic released a special variant of the Aquaman pop that was blue. I mean, literally blue. Underwater Aquaman style blue pop. Same pop. Just blue. I'm happy to say that I think I'm clear of it now, and I find myself just collecting Funko Pop figures because I enjoy the characters, or I'm like, oh, that looks so cool, I really want that one. Speaking of which, there's a New York Comic Con pop coming out soon of the Toy Story Pizza Planet truck. It's shared exclusive with Box Lunch. It's the first one I've wanted in ages. If anyone like watching this video happens to like have a hookup at Box Lunch, let me know, because like, I really want that pop. This part of the shelf is pretty much exclusively the DC Extended Universe movies. This is a Joker pop from New York Comic Con, and this is actually quite a funny one because this is the first year I decided to not go online to try and get the New York Comic Con Pop Heroes pops. I was just like, okay, I'm going to collect the ones I want, I'm going to skip this Joker one, I'm not going to rush online to get it. So I passed it up, didn't get it online. My parents went to New York, came back, my mum was like, oh, we went into Barnes & Noble and they just released all these Comic Con pops, so I bought you this one, do you have this yet? And I'm like, no. Thanks, Mum. That was pretty good. I absolutely loved Wonder Woman. So I have these Wonder Woman pops, I have these Wonder Woman pops, and I have this one because this is my favourite scene in the Wonder Woman movie. Like, the scene where she just walks up in the trenches with the cloak, so I have that pop because it's just like, such a powerful scene. These are the Arkham pops because I absolutely love the DC Arkham game. That's just such a good game. And here's like my mini collection of Harley Quinn pops that I've acquired over the years. Some Arkham ones, classic Harley Quinn, and modern new DC Harley Quinn. Down here are my Dark Knight Rises pops. There's Bane. He was re-released and I got him when he was re-released, which is really lucky because Bane was super rare and really expensive. That's my Man of Steel pop that I got for free at Play This Live years ago and is, funnily enough, worth lots of money now. Here's a Comic Con pop that I bought when it was really cheap online for like literally £10 on eBay, and now again it's worth a fair amount of money. But at the end of the day, the pop vinyl figures are also collectible figures. They're displayed to be displayed like collectible figures with the box they're visible. They come with special things you can buy to keep them all pristine and secure. And people like collecting rare things. I feel like I've managed to chill down quite a bit, although I would still freak out if someone ever like handed me like a rare pop. For example, the Green Army Man from Toy Story was released last year by Box Lunch. And again, talking about Box Lunch, missed out on it. Yeah, didn't get the Green Army Man. I was actually legitimately really sad because I love Toy Story and I was like so sad. These are another variant of Batman that I went for because I thought they'd look really cool, so much like the Rainbow Batman. I was like, these would look really cool displayed, and they have their own numbers to be fair. To be fair, each of them are numbered differently. This is sort of like the Imposters Batman series. So the idea being that I guess the villains were being imposters of Batman in their same style, or that Batman was being an imposter of the villain, I'm not entirely sure. And then below the imposter pops, I have all of my Lantern pops. Some various flashes, classic Cyborg, Supergirl, classic Supergirl, Superman, that's the original #7 Superman pop, Harley Quinn and roller skates, the original Wonder Woman pop, the original Aquaman pop, who came early within the series. And below my pops there's a Pokemon shelf, and there's like a Pokemon shelf there because I like Pokemon. You guys should know I like Pokemon. There's some Lego on top, some Pokemon, some other bits, But this is a pop video, not a Pokemon video. And the final place I have Funko Pops in my office is my little Pixar display case. So I have this gigantic Buzz Lightyear pop. And this pop has a fun story. Jamie bought this pop for me when she went to VidCon one year. She saw it on the side of VidCon, went and bought it from like a seller at VidCon. I was in the UK. She then tried to bring it back to me, but the box got really damaged. She felt bad, didn't give it to me. She then kept it on her like side in the background of her video for years, and like always in her videos when we were doing long distance. So I'd always see this pop in the background and smile, because like, she got me that pop. And now we live here. This pop is with me in this office, and he's finally completed this giant journey from Anaheim to Missouri to where we lived in Staines, where it was still in her room, to now, where we live here. Around the time Toy Story was celebrating its 20th anniversary, they re-released some of the Toy Story pops. They released this really cool looking Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Rex. This is a special event pop. This is Woody from the San Francisco Giants game in California. So every year they have like a special Pixar baseball game day in California. I've not been personally. I got this off eBay because I thought it was really cool. And I'd love to go and see it because it looks like Pixar had this huge day out. It looks really fun, and like, I love Pixar. Probably not ever going to get to see it, but I have a pop from it and I love it. It's Woody, and he's got this giant, if you can see it there, he's got like a baseball glove in his hand. I think it's really cool. As I touched on earlier in this video, I found that collecting Funko Pop figures after a while led to a bit of anxiety within me, and I want to say 100% that, again, I love the Funko Pops. I think they're really cool things. I think they're a really great, cute, adorable way to represent and show off some characters. I don't fault anyone who collects them, and I still have them and buy them occasionally. It's just me talking about the transition of me personally as a collector and how I've changed my habit. Don't want to say I was addicted, but I was 100% addicted to Funko Pop hero figures and ensuring I had that collection to the point where it became an obsession. Like, they would release new pops around Comic-Cons, like New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, and I would work out what time they'd be going on Forbidden Planet's website or Pop Culture's website. I'd be on there if it was 1 AM in the morning, refreshing the page until they're available, add the ones I wanted, not all the exclusives, just the pop heroes if they were pop heroes, to the cart. I'd find myself getting really anxious when they were announcing pops for Comic-Con. If they ever released a pop that was like a unique number to that Comic-Con, I would like internally panic and just freak out and think, oh, I need to get that pot. I can't miss it. And like, luckily for the most part, if it was a number on its own, like, it would be released wider as like a summer exclusive and sold in stores. I found myself reflecting back on that and realizing how much I was getting anxious about it, how much I was like, I guess, panicking about missing out on pops and being like, why? I have all these cool figures, but what's it really going to do if I miss out on this one pop? Is it going to completely derail my whole collection? Is this whole collection going to be sold at auction as a valued thing all in one go? No. One good example I thought about giving here was with the Pop Heroes, and the point where like I was going for the 1 to 100 regardless because I was collecting the Pop Heroes figures and had to collect them. I've never seen Judge Dredd in my life. Judge me all you want. I don't know what Judge Dredd is. This for me signifies like, it's just a big pop that just, I look at it and I always think, why? I've never displayed this pop. It's always been kept in a cupboard somewhere, and it fills me with a mixture of like aggravation towards myself and stuff. Like, and like, to anyone who collects pops and collects things, it's one thing I'd like to say is like, collect the things you love, follow the franchises you love, go for the things you're a fan of. Don't aimlessly do what I've done and buy a number. I literally bought a cardboard box and a number. The reality is, over the past 1.5 to 2 years, I haven't found myself really purchasing as many pops. I found myself buying this after MCM Comic Con because I saw it and Jamie likes Star Wars, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy a giant porg. And can I just say that if you've watched the video this far, I really do appreciate it. If you've not subscribed already, please do consider subscribing for future uploads and hit a like down below. I'm so much happier looking at this, just chilling out, looking at the things I love in my office, and it makes me so much happier. And can I just like go back and say, like, poor Toys R Us. And again, I don't want this to come across like I'm trying to be like, oh, if you collect things, you're being really weird and you should slow down, because it's cool to have something you like, and it's fine to collect things. And don't let anyone ever make you feel that what you're collecting is silly or that you're wasting money on something, because how you spend money and what you collect and what you obtain is entirely on you. Some people might choose to collect Pokemon cards, some people might choose to collect Funko Pops as I have, some people might like collect vinyls. Everyone has something they like to collect and build up, but equally, I find everyone has their individual limit or take of things and reflection of like how you actually feel about those things. Like, have you gone too far? Is it making you feel anxious? Is it building up too much? Are you able to display them? What are you really doing with these? What's the end goal of these things you're collecting? For me, the end goals of my Funko Pops, despite them having like more value than I have paid for these Funko Pops between these pops, because some of these are worth like multiples of their original value, my goal isn't to sell them or keep them for benefit. They could completely tank in value tomorrow and I wouldn't care because they look awesome. If you have any general questions about Funko Pop figures or you collect any, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll reply to comments, I'll have a chat with you guys. I can also address it in a future video. Also, please do remember I'm uploading every Wednesday now where I can. Last week I didn't do it because I was in LA for something really exciting. So please do subscribe if you're not subscribed, and make sure you check back here next Wednesday, please, around like 6 PM UK time, where I'll be uploading a new video from my LA experience where I got to go to DC Comics itself. Finally, if you haven't seen it yet, me and Jamie have a brand new channel, Dorky Ever After, link down below. There are now 4 videos on that channel and there'll be a new video this Sunday. And also I'm going to be live on Twitch either right now or this evening, 8 PM UK time, depending on whether this video is uploaded early. So please come say hi, join me. I'm either going to be building some Lego or playing some fun games. It'll be a fun time. You guys can chat with me, ask anything, and we'll have a fun hangout. So it's every Wednesday, every Sunday on Twitch. Please do follow my Twitch and hang out because I want to chat with you guys more, and it's going to be really fun. Also, look at my Core Kingdom Hearts backpack. This is my new backpack. How cool is that? To coin a phrase from one of my favourite people in the world, buys, 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 buys.